Welcome to Living Off Nodak, everybody. All right, so last fall, I like to do a little bird hunting, and got myself a pheasant and 3 grouse. I've got the 3 grouse breasts and the legs and the pheasant breasts here too. So we're gonna smoke these up today, and I'm using this Yardbird. Never used it before. It just looked good, sounded good in the store, so I grabbed it. So we're gonna rub it with that, and that's all we're gonna do. I'm going to baste it with a little bit of garlic butter. I've got 5 cloves of garlic and a stick of butter in here. I'll throw right on the grill to keep it melted, and baste these on top of the rub and stuff every 15-20 minutes type thing. I don't think these are going to take very long, but I know how they tend to dry out. So I'm going to try this with the butter because sometimes that'll put a seal on it and help keep the moisture in. I'm also going to put a pot of water close to the fire to keep that simmering, to keep it from drying out inside the grill. So let's get to spreading the seasonings on and get them seasoned up and get them on the smoker. So we'll set this aside for now, and we're going to give them a good liberal dosing here. I think I'll just pick them up and do them that way. Typically, people don't smoke wild game birds like this because they tend to dry out, but we're going to give it a shot. Might as well. Can't hurt smoking anything. But like I said, I'm taking the measures of putting a pot of water in there so it doesn't get too dried out. Now this seasoning does have salt in it, which is okay, I guess. Salt tends to bring the moisture out, doesn't it? So it's still going to do that, but it's okay. We'll have that pot of water to keep it moist inside anyway. This is a really fine spice. It's getting a nice coating on it though. Oh, and it's living off Nodak, so these were all shot in North Dakota. So we're living off Nodak again today. A lot of times I don't. I'm doing pork loin and stuff like that. So, but I try to. I know I haven't posted a video for a little while. I got some coming up. I've been busy turkey hunting on the weekends, and work during the week is really busy this time of year. So I haven't had much time to do much editing. So there are a bunch of videos coming out. I do have video. I just haven't had time to do any editing. So when I do get some time to do some editing, there'll be a bunch of videos coming out. There we go. That looks good. I'm going to let this sit a little bit and then fire up the smoker while it's doing that, and we will see you out there. Just got the fire lit using hickory to start with. Probably throw mesquite on every so often when I'm doing these wild game breasts. Got 2 logs with fire starters between and 1 kitty corner across, so it'll light both of that. That'll get us a good base to throw the rest on after a little bit. So we'll give this a little while to heat the grill up. It'll heat it up pretty hot, maybe 350, and then after it tames down a little bit, we'll throw another log on and get to cooking. Okay, so we're at about 175 here. It seems to be burning really nice. So we're gonna get them put on. We want to cook them fairly slow anyway, so let's get them put on here. I did them all in a rack, so we can just set it right on. Get to cooking. I've got the pot of water here. It'll take a while for that to start simmering, but that's okay. Here's our butter and garlic. Set that right here, get that going, and we will check on these periodically. It's going to be great. I decided to throw a couple of walleye fillets on today too. So I've got a couple of walleye fillets here. And all I'm going to do is drizzle it a little bit with a little bit of lemon juice here. I don't have fresh lemons, but this is just as good. I'm just going to rub that in a little bit, both sides. Something for the seasoning to stick to. And all I took was some oregano, some basil, some pepper, and a little bit of parsley, some dried flakes and stuff. And I ground it up in the pestle mortar here. And all I'm going to do is just season that. Not heavily, but just to get some seasonings on it. Pat it into that lemon juice a little. Kind of wet. Just a basic, light little seasoning on it. Then we're going to throw these on the smoker along with that grouse and pheasant. Let this smoke up. And then I will also baste this a little bit with that garlic butter that's on there as well. So let's go get it on the smoker. All right, we are running about just over 225 at about this height, so that's a really good temperature to be at. So we're going to go ahead, and I just threw the walleye on. I'm just going to drizzle. I'm not really going to, I want to wipe the seasonings off, maybe just kind of dab on. I want to get a good coat on it though, so. Try to create that seal. It doesn't dry out much. Nice color to them though, isn't there? Hope this turns out. I hope they don't dry out. And the fish, I think I'm just going to dribble across the top a little bit. Might have to add some more butter here. Getting down to the bottom. This is the second time I've basted the birds. So I'm going to give them a little bit, and then I'm going to give all the birds a little flip in probably about 20 minutes, and then try to get a seal on the other side of them. Stick around. I hope it's good. Okay, I did flip everything once. Baste it. I'm going to do it again a little bit here. Nice grill marks on it. And then I decided to throw some beets on. So I've got a wok here. I've got some frozen beets from my garden last year. All I did was let them drain and put a little olive oil on them and some of the same seasoning that I seasoned the grouse and pheasant with. So I'm just going to put that on top shelf here. We'll stir that every so often, and that'll be delicious too. It's turning out good. Well, let's check on these things. I think they're about done. Let's see. We're supposed to cook pheasant to about 165, 160, 163, 165, 66, 67. That's good. Gross. 160. I would have typically taken it off a little earlier, 155. That would be better. Fish is supposed to be 140. We're a little overdone on that. I think it'll be good. It feels pretty soft. All right, I'm going to take this off. We'll see you inside for a taste. All right, here it is. Looks pretty darn good. When I probed it, it feels a little firm, so it might be dried out, but we're going to check it out. So let's grab a knife here and let's try the fish first. That just peels apart. So nice. Mmm. That's good flavor. Nice little smoke. Delicious. Let's try one of these pheasant breasts. And it came apart. A little bit of moisture. Might be a little dried out. Let's check the taste. Not bad. I'm not a huge pheasant fan, but that actually has some flavor. It's a little on the dry side, but not bad. Definitely had a lot drier. Let's try the bottom half here. That's probably part of the tenderloin. That's a delicious flavor. One thing I'm not big on pheasant with is all you taste is the seasoning or whatever you add to it. There's not much flavor to it. I think the same thing about elk or chicken out of the store, but that's delicious. Probably because of the seasonings. All right, let's slice into some of this grouse, and I love grouse. I like more of a gamey taste. Grouse has more of a gamey taste. Let's check that. It has a little bit of moisture to it. Let's check it out. Mmm. That's better than the pheasant to me. That's really good. A little bit of moisture. I think I would have taken both of them off about, I think, what were they, about 160, 165? I think I'd have taken them both off at 150 next time. And they'd have retained a little bit more juice. They'd have been a little bit juicier and been a lot more flavorful, I think. Almost like medium rare, but they're delicious. Let's check out these beets. Good smoky flavor. Even though I had that pot of water in there, they did dry out a little bit. But beets have so much moisture, it really doesn't matter. They still got a little bit of a crunch to them. They're not really soft. Delicious. If you're ever looking for some recipe ideas, like I said before in my other videos, I don't use recipes, but I give you a good idea of what I'm doing. So this was just a rub basted with butter. This was just some olive oil and the beets, based and covered up with the same seasoning. So delicious. I can't wait to actually have a meal with this, and this is going to feed me the rest of the week. So please like, please subscribe, check back often. I got a bunch more videos coming up that I haven't had time to edit, but this is Living Off Nodak, and I'm Eric. I'll see you in the next one.